somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
The most presidential person ever. We had the biggest audience in the history of inaugural speeches. The labor leaders that came out, one of them said it was the single greatest meeting I've ever had with anybody. It's the highlight of my life. Here's a picture of the crowd. Now, the audience was the biggest ever. That speech was a home run. It was the biggest standing ovation since Peyton Manning had won the Super Bowl, and they said it was equal. One thing this shows is how far over they go here. Look how far this is. This goes all the way down here, all the way down. They said it was one of the great speeches. They showed the people applauding and screaming. I've had a wonderful life and wonderful success. People loved it. They loved it. They gave me a standing ovation for a long period of time. When you look at this tremendous sea of love, I call it a sea of love. Thank you very much. Myself, I hate to do it, but I will do it. I would give myself an A+. Is that enough? So I give myself an A+. I don't think any president has ever done what I've done in this short. We haven't even been 2 years.
I would give myself an A+. Nobody has done what I've been able to do.
Well, a lot of people have given me an A. Somebody gave me an A+.
In Texas and in Florida, we get an A+. And I'll tell you what, I think we've done just as good in Puerto Rico.
Did I do a good job?
I can't do better than that. That's called an A+ rating, right?
In terms of achievement, I think I'd give myself an A, because I think I've done great things, but I don't think I and my people, I don't think we've explained it well enough to the American public. I think I get an A in terms of what I've actually done, but in terms of messaging, I'd give myself a C or a C+. I love to negotiate things. I do it really well and all that stuff. I do get good ratings, you have to admit that. I know what's good and bad. I'd be a pretty good reporter. I can handle a bad story better than anybody. The Rasmussen poll just has me through the roof. I'm actually having a very good time. I'm really not a bad person, by the way. I won. But don't forget, that's the way I won. Remember, I used to give you a news conference every time I made a speech, which was like every day. Okay? No, that's how I won. I won with news conference and probably speeches. If I'd run in there, even if I didn't have a weapon, and I think most of the people in this room would have done that too.
Nobody knows the system better than me.
Nobody knows politicians better than I do.
Nobody knows. Nobody's better.
Nobody's stronger. There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am. I love the First Amendment. Nobody loves it better than me.
Nobody loves the Bible more than I do.
There is nobody that respects women more than I do.
Nobody builds walls better than me.
Nobody in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump. Nobody knows that better than me.
Nobody even understands it but me.
Nobody can do it like me.
Which is why I alone can fix it. I have Ivy League education, smart guy.
I know words. I have the best words. I mean, I'm a smart person. It's this. It's not my salesmanship. It's what? This. You know what that is? It's the brain power.
I'm getting thousands of letters and tweets that I was right about the whole situation. I mean, I've been right about a lot of things, frankly. I should be a newscaster because I called it before the news.
I watch this stuff. You know, I'm like a guy with vision.
I have an instinct for this kind of thing.
I'm good at war. I've had a lot of wars of my own. I'm really good at war.
In my book, I predicted terrorism.
It's a rigged system. I think I've done a great service by pointing this out. I was the one that really broke the glass ceiling on behalf of women. I think I'm doing the military a great favor. Did a great job in Texas, a great job in Florida. I truly believe that the first 100 days of my administration has been just about the most successful in our country's history. It looked like 1.5 million people.
Thank